The mini bee has fast become one of my favorite nymphs when fly fishing rivers and streams. Its generic footprint resembles many small prey items such as Baetis nymphs or midge pupa. This pattern works well using suspension nymphing systems or as part of a team of flies when Euro nymphing. Here are the materials you will need to tie this proven pattern. So let's tie a mini bee. The B stands for Baetis. It's a great little dropper fly on a Euro rig. Into the jaws of the vise, I've placed a Mustad C49S, number 14. I tie these in 14s, 16s, 18s. I've slid a 3/32 gold bead onto the shank. Push that right up to the hook eye. We're going to make this a hot spot version, so we're going to use some hot orange thread. Just going to attach that right behind the bead. Get it onto the hook. Trim away the excess. And then take the tying thread all the way down into the bend of the hook. I'm just going to let it sit there. It's again about that 45-degree angle, sort of when you know it's okay. Any more than that and the thread just starts to tumble down the bend of the hook. So I'm going to take some pheasant tail. About 4 or 5 fibers is all you need. This is a very small little fly. I'm just going to stand the fibers up perpendicular to the hook shank to even the ends. I'm going to moisten them a little bit to hold them together. And we're just going to tie those in place with 2 wraps to get them onto the shank. Let that hang. Those are in position, and now I gently just pull on them until I get the tail, because this pheasant tail is going to form both the tail and the body. So I'm just going to keep pulling gently with just the 2 wraps until I get a tail I'm happy with. I want it just a little bit, there we go, just about 1/2 to 3/4 of the shank. I'm going to carry that forward a couple more turns to secure it. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to tie in our ribbing material. My ribbing material in this case is an extra small UTC copper wire. You could use gold, you could use red, you could use brown, you could use a lot of different colors. Whatever you like. I typically use copper or gold. And then we're just going to tie that in place. I'll put a couple of wraps. You can see I've got the wire is going to extend all the way up to the rear of the bead. And this is just to make sure that my body foundation is nice and smooth. And then we're just going to take our remaining pheasant tail that I didn't trim off and tuck that back and fold it along down to the base of the tail, and then secure the wire right up along the shank. And then for a little reinforcement, we can put a thin dab of super glue, and then we're going to take our pheasant tail and we're going to counter wrap it to form the body. Take this forward. Be careful of that hook point. Make it nice and slender. Take that right up to the back of the bead. Come over across the top of it and tie it down. Trim away the excess. We've got our body and tail complete out of one material. Now we're going to put a little flashback on it. And to do that, we're going to use some Mirage Opal tinsel in small, beautiful iridescence on this material. And we're going to lay this on top of the shank. A couple of wraps, we can sort of wiggle it to center it. 2 more wraps to lock it down, and then the little remnant of the tag that I tied in, now that I've locked it in place, get in with my scissor points here, and just snip that out of the way. I'm going to take our wire and put a 1/2 turn positioning wrap, so it's hanging basically straight down. Then we're going to pull our flashback material over the top and secure it in place and wind it forward with the rib. I'm trying to make sure that this stays on top. So what we're going to do, just tuck that excess ribbing, shellback material into my material clip. We want to make sure, if we can, that the mylar stays on top of the hook. So I'm just going to position that, and then as I go over the top, it's controlled, but I don't apply, whoops, slipped off the back there. So we'll undo, we're in control. So I'm going to come up over the top, then I apply pressure on the downstroke, and this makes sure that it keeps my little flashy shellback, in this case, right on top. So over the top and pull straight down. And by counter-winding the body and then winding the ribbing material over the top in the traditional way, we have a very durable effect between the glue that we use to secure the body, the crisscross pattern that we get by the body going in one direction and the wire going another makes it very secure. And when I tie off the wire, the thread tension is going to pull and twist the wire even tighter because it rolls around with the thread slightly. And that makes it even more durable. And then we're just going to take our wire, pull and twist, and break away the excess. And now we can come in, take our shellback material, lift up on it, and just trim it flush with the tail. Be careful not to trim the tail. A little tail sitting right there. We'll fix that in a second. Round back on it. And now we're just going to form a little dubbed thorax. And for the thorax, I'm going to use some of the John Romer's Arizona synthetic dubbing in peacock, in this case. And we're just going to take this, a very sparse amount, and mix it up. And we're just going to twist it right onto, use firm twisting motion to twist this onto the tying thread. We don't need much. And then we're just going to slide that into position and form a little dub ball right behind the bead. And to create a little bit of a hot spot, don't need much. Just going to take our orange thread, we'll spin it counterclockwise to flatten the wraps and take out the twist. And we build that hot orange spot right up. Whip finish. Trim. We could then take a little bit of head cement, or in this case super glue, and I just put that right on the bead. And that'll roll back down the bead into my thread wraps. And then we can take a little Velcro. I've attached it to the back of a toothbrush here. And we can just pick at those fibers. This is a very suggestive small nymph. We just pick that out and just do normal wear and tear. This flows back. It helps suggest legs and other features. It's a very small little nymph. And it's a great fly. I love to, I'm probably most recognized for my stillwater exploits, but I love to really enjoy fishing Euro nymph style, Polish, Czech style when I fish rivers. And this fly is a common dropper for me. It just does a great job imitating small Baetis nymphs, just small mayflies in a dropper 2 or 3 fly system with a bigger anchor nymph either on the bottom of or the midsection, depending on the conditions and where I believe the fish to be. And that's the little mini bee, we'll call that thing. Just a great, suggestive little Baetis pattern, easy to tie. You can use lots of them, so make sure if you go Euro nymphing or river and stream fishing in any nymphing setup to have a few of these in your fly box, because it's a real good producer. For more information on fly fishing, and stillwater fly fishing in particular, please visit my website at flycraftangling.com. Here you'll find lots of information, including fly fishing tips, fly patterns, articles, dates on my seminars and schools, along with links to my blog and mine and Brian Chan's online stillwater fly fishing shop. You can also visit our store directly at stillwaterflyfishingstore.com. Please join the conversation on my Facebook page or follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching, and please take the time to watch my other tying videos as well.